All right, did did Christmas come early this year or what? Because first we got the that I still don't know how to pronounce it, but the Czech Republic route, and now we're back into some more familiar territory for myself, the New Haven line. Well, only to Stamford, unfortunately. And I definitely got some opinions on this because first when I heard about this was like a dream come true. We have both Grand Central and Penn Station included. We got a lot of freight action. But there are two issues so far that don't sit very well with me. The first one is the fact that it doesn't go all the way to New Haven. It only goes to Stamford. Now, to be fair, if it went all the way to New Haven, I think that would make it close to like 70 miles or something, which is a little bit long, but in Stamford is a decent stopping point, but I really wish we got the entire thing along with all the branch lines. But I'm not complaining, we at least got some of it, a good chunk, and it's got some interesting points and whatnot. Now, the timetable, I heard some layers, like at Penn Station, weren't included, unfortunately. I'm not sure if that's entirely true or not. It sounds a little disappointing, but at least you got some layers. Grand Central looks so much better since it has the lower platform. Got plenty of Metro North services, and we can still do some depot runs with New Jersey Transit. And I don't know why the Union Pacific SD40 is labeled, even though it's supposed to be the CSX one, but tons of freight to do as well. I mean, not tons. Well, I don't know how many services, but for this type of route, there's plenty to do. So let's jump right into it. I am super excited for this one. The M8 is going to be awesome. Hopefully we'll get the P32 as well. We have been starving for a Genesis locomotive.
Welcome to your first day as a student engineer here on the New Haven line.
Oh, this is definitely Grand Central. Look at that, we have the lower levels, and overall it's sorry. I mean, even though it's definitely a lot emptier than real life, but I at least like the walls and whatnot look a lot more realistic, a lot more accurate.
Take some time to explore
Pretty
the
cool
station
looking group
and find
map.
other tasks. Open pizza boxes, find toy taxis, and ignite the torches on all the mini Statue of Liberties scattered across the route.
I want to figure out, so I am curious. I have been to Grand Central several times before. Alright, so unfortunately it's closed off. You can't see the inside. It would be, I wish he could. Such a beautiful station, but I'm not surprised he can't because it is very complex and detailed. But I feel like this time we're finally doing justice to the world's largest train station by amount of platforms, and also arguably the world's most famous train station. The fact that we finally got the lower levels, I'm super excited for. Now, I did hear that these tracks over here, the sidings, trains don't get stored on them. They kind of go into invisible portals in order to help with performance. And it's annoying, but if that's a sacrifice that has to be made to get the lower levels and whatnot, then I'm willing to take it.
Stamford is the
I
second
really like
largest
the
city in
M8s.
Connecticut,
This is
and the
super
second
cool.
busiest station on Metro North, behind only New York City's Grand Central Terminal. This line was originally built by the New York, New Haven, and Hartford Railroad, otherwise simply known as the New Haven. It connected with the New York Central at Grand Central Terminal and the Pennsylvania
Alright, so
Railroad
we
at
got
Penn Station.
all this freight too. So a lot of the freight from the Train Simulator Classic route that goes over to this side as well.
At New Rochelle, the line to Penn Station
And we have
diverges,
this yard
passing
too
the
that's
freight
new.
yard at Oak Point before
I think,
leaping over the East
yeah,
River
it's
on the
gonna be
Hellgate
huge.
Bridge. New Haven once ran intercity trains.
We'll
on
finally
this
get
line,
Hell's Gate
and now
Bridge
it's used
again.
by Amtrak and freight trains. Meanwhile,
I can't
Metro
wait,
North commuter
dude.
trains head to Grand Central, changing electrification at speed from AC overhead wires to DC.
We're gonna be able to
third
do
before
like
entering
route
the
hopping
former New York
between
Central track shared
this
with the
route
Harlem
and
line.
Newark to Trenton, or even do like a run on
Grand Central Terminal
Boston
has
to
44
Providence.
platforms,
This
the
is
most
gonna
of
be
any
so
station
cool.
in the world, stacked in 2 underground levels. Deep below the terminal is Grand Central Madison, with 8 more tracks serving Long Island Railroad trains. Freight traffic is limited along this busy passenger corridor. CSX loads trash trains at Oak Point Yard near the Hellgate Bridge and runs transfer trains over the bridge to freight connections in Long Island. Any freight trains which must use mainline tracks mostly run at night to avoid disrupting passenger
Yeah,
traffic.
Grand Central just looks so much better in Oh, wait a minute.
Freight trains are handled
Is it
by the
still-
CSX SD40.
There's still some issues with
Passenger
the
trains
roof
feature the
textures
Metro
and
North
fix
M8
those,
dual-mode
unfortunately.
electric multiple unit
But for
and
the
the
most
Amtrak
part, it looks so much better than it
ACS-64
did on the
electric
Harlem
locomotive with
line.
Amfleet coaches.
But there's
Ferry
still
commuters
that
aboard the
visual
M8 to Grand Central
glitch
Terminal
there.
or weave through the traffic in the ACS-64 on intercity trains to Penn Station. The Big Apple needs your help to ride the rails.
Alright, let's give this M8 a shot. Everything else is already familiar. Unfortunately, now I did say there is one other thing that kind of bothers me about this route, and that it's a little more expensive than usual. For the Czech route, I felt like the higher price was justified. New country, new rolling stock, new everything. But this, I mean, as much as I'm excited for it, the only new, really, like, new thing is, well, already a good portion of the route is we already have. The Metro North section, like, everything up to New Rochelle, we already have both, for both, Metro North and Amtrak. So there's still a good chunk of new stuff, and hopefully all that older stuff has been rebuilt and up to date. But that and the M8 there's just not as much new stuff I feel like justifies the higher price. If it went all the way to New Haven, then I would say yes, it's justifiable. Alright. What am I doing? Why am I drawing a blank? Alright, train depot. I said train depot. Alright. Training modules. It didn't give me a button to go straight to that. Where is it? I have a lot of modded trains installed. I plan to be doing videos on those sometime in the near future, so you can look forward to that. I know another criticism of this route is the fact that safety systems are forced on. For me, that's never been an issue since I always drive with them regardless. But I can see why for either casual players or beginners, why that would be a turn off. But for me, it doesn't bug me personally. Not bad of a horn. And this one does have rail driver support. That was like my one criticism of the Czech Republic route, is that it didn't have a rail driver support. I think now there is a mod for it, but it's not perfect. It still kind of drives weird, and for that route I just prefer to use a controller. So overall, it feels pretty familiar to the Long Island Railroad stuff, the M7, the M3.
The brake pipe will be exhausted, and you will need to charge it again to recover the train.
So,
open the doors to allow passengers to...
Although they'll probably walk us through the power change procedure. I wonder if they added any of the unpowered. I know the M8s came with some unpowered, like, trailing cars that they would put in the middle. Not sure if they added any of them or not. Definitely sounds way different. That's good to hear. Try and recall from my trips to New York. Overall, it sounds very accurate from my memory. Like I said, I'm not a local. I've just visited the city a bunch of times, and from my memory, everything feels accurate. Alright, now we're gonna switch to, if I can get the lever into coast position. Alright, so we have AC pan up, DC mode, AC... Alright, yeah, let's do that, DC mode. So I think I'm in... Oh, that was surprisingly simple. Didn't even... All I had to do is flip the lever. That's it. Very, very easy. Well, I guess except for when I'm going into AC mode, I have to press an extra button. Not sure if I'm gonna be stopping here. I guess not. It'll give me a chance to practice going to DC mode. And yeah, that's a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. Just flick the switch, that's it. It's just when I'm going to AC mode, I just have to raise the pantograph manually, but very easy. do really wish we got the rest of the line to New Haven, but who knows, maybe it'll be a route extension someday. But overall, this route is going to have a ton of potential. If we could get the P32 on here, although I think they mostly run on the Hudson line. Maybe get the Hudson line too. I know a lot of people are getting tired of so many New York routes, but admittedly, there's just so much cool stuff in the New York area. Like, I know a lot of people, like, a lot of people are upset whenever an American route comes out that's like a commuter route from the New York area, but I mean, that's just, at least in my opinion, that's where most of the interesting stuff is. Because, well, most other commuter lines, unless it's other major cities like LA, Boston, Chicago, they're not going to have too many services or branch lines. There just wouldn't be as much to do. And there are a couple good freight lines too. Some we already have, some that could still be added, but most of it would be kind of linear too, and not too many passenger services either. That's just my opinion. So I know like a lot of people complain like, no, we're getting too much stuff in New York. I think the New York stuff is perfect. And I just love to play on it every time. So keep it coming, more New York stuff. The only problem is if we get more New York stuff. From what I've heard, one of the developers that's been working on the signaling, he worked on the signaling for this route, but left. Isn't doing any of the signaling work anymore. And it seemed like pretty much every route that he worked on was signaling. Ended up being really good, but the ones he didn't work on weren't so good. So I'm a little concerned like who would take over for him in the signaling department. I think his name was Brandon. Alright, enough tutorialing. Let's go and do some runs on the route. I already know how to drive the SD40. Although I do have to see if they updated the horn. Because the sand patch grade horns were terrible. Luckily, they have there's a good sound mod that replaces them with much better sounding ones. But yeah, the default ones are atrocious. So, really praying they updated the horn. I'll have to check that one point or another. Like, the freight on this route really seems to be as much of a highlight as everything else. While normally on other, like, passenger-focused routes, it tends to be sort of an afterthought. Alright, where is it? Or scenarios, we got... That'd be a good one, get the points of interest. Got some delays. More delays. Alright, one about New Year's Eve. Smart stuff. Most of his M8 services, not a single freight scenario. That's shocking. Let's see what the mastery is. I really like playing through the mastery, so... Drive. I guess one of them is the Snow day or New Year's resolution, although that would be at nighttime. Or snow might be a little too hard for a first run on the route, so probably not one of those. I guess Alright, I can't take it anymore. I have to see, I see they also have Providence and Worcester services, even though it's represented to a CSX. A lot of, like, multi-part services. Well, a lot of switching at the whole market area. I don't plan on doing the entire service, but I just gotta see what the area looks like. It really piqued my interest, and I gotta see if they updated that horn. I do wonder if the new Thomas game is any good. Alright, the engine sounds the same. Ooh, pretty big. You can see a skyline from here. That's awesome. Yeah, you can see it real far out. I love it. Huge area. Alright, moment of truth. Not bad. I think they reused it from another locomotive. I think maybe the BNSF one, but definitely way better than that other horn. I guess the engine sounds, they're alright as is. It could be better, they could be worse, they do fine, but whew, that horn really needed the update. I am shocked that it's just the SD40 that's on here. I was so expecting the GP38 to be on here too. Or it's just the YN3, not even the YN2 or the Stealth, just the regular old, just the SD40 that comes with it. So I'm a little bit baffled by that decision. So unfortunately, that's another drawback for me right out of the box. Is definitely could have been some better layer integration. It's just this one SD40, nothing else. If I would be in, I think it's an hour long. I would have liked to do, there's a work train where I think you haul like flat cars or something with the ACS-64. Would have expected way more services. It's only 28. Niacella's got 21. The M8's playing busy. It's got 300. Alright, we'll do the student engineer service, and I don't have too much time today, but maybe we can do the work train service. Just maybe. Chances are I'll save that for a separate video. Alright, where are we right now? We're just sitting a random siding. It looked like we were just sitting on the main line, but no, it's a siding. Alright, so no safety systems to turn on because those were already turned on. Although, alright, I know I'm acting super indecisive today, but This is all mostly gonna be Metro North track that's been ridden on the Harlem line, so now I'm thinking once again I want to maximize new trackage. So maybe I'll just go for a timetable. Most of these scenarios don't seem to be work in my favor for what I want to do on my first run. Maybe I'm just being picky. No, I'm definitely being picky. I apologize for that. Right, so the scenarios we have. Drawbridge one covers most of the new section. Let's see. I guess the snow day one would be, yeah, we'll just do a timetable, I guess. How long will a timetable take? Yeah, we'll do a local from Grand Central Stamford. At least that's still an hour of driving, so we still got plenty of the route. Alright, start off in some familiar settings. Where are we? Are we on the, oh, we're on the lower level, sweet. The lighting seems a tad bit bright, but could be worse, I guess. Like I said, still a huge improvement. Looking pretty good so far. Yeah, I do wish they included the station building. I wasn't expecting them to, but still looks way better. At least the walls look similar to what you'd see in the building. And my camera glitched out of it, so I guess now we can see both levels. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure to get to these platforms, you pretty much, like, if I remember correctly, you actually have to, like, walk through the station building. You don't go through a separated path like this. But still, though, just such a huge improvement. I am very much looking forward to this. It says we're just going to Stamford on the display board. Shouldn't it say New Haven? Maybe a service. I guess it is just to Stamford. I guess some services don't go all the way. The rail driver compatibility feels alright. I've seen worse. Could be better, could be worse. Here we go. Very slowly. Yeah, I think a big pet peeve for me is a lot of train sim world routes really seem reluctant towards adding like the lower levels of stations. Like it was the lower level of Frankfurt was missing on Frankfurt to Fulda. Luckily they added it with Frankfurt S-Bahn. Okay, I guess the alerter button on the rail driver doesn't do anything. Gonna have to use my controller for that. A lot of visual glitches so far. I don't know what's up with that. That guy looks like he's about to slam right into me. I don't know why my allergies are so bad today. It's definitely a crawl getting out of Grand Central. Alright, I can't raise my camera in. Now I can raise my camera. But yeah, just seeing like both levels and all the different trains going through here is just making me so happy. Yeah, this truly feels like a Grand Central experience. Having both levels, it looks so much nicer, feels wicked busy, just something that the Harlem line couldn't quite capture. And I am so glad they included both Penn Station and Grand Central instead of just going for one or the other. Penn Station looks pretty busy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard some services at Penn Station were excluded. Like, I think some New Jersey Transit services and maybe a couple Amtraks going south. It's unfortunate, but I guess beggars can't be choosers in the end. Just gotta be glad we got the route in the first place. Any second now we can go fast. Full throttle time, yeah! Huh, that's interesting. We got... So the two trains going southbound are in the middle tracks. I swear I've driven trains on the Harlem line going northbound and on the middle track this track right here. So I guess it's pretty interchangeable depending on how much traffic is going through. Whoa, brakes are kind of strong on... No, wait, being stopped. I was gonna say, the brakes are strong, but nope, it threw me into emergency, and I don't really know why. It says I'm over speeding, but... I thought I had plenty of time to slow down. Guess not. Sorry, gone foggy. What's with that? Didn't even give me a chance to get to the surface. It's weird how the tracks kind of like move side to side like that. They don't always stay flush with each other. I don't know why. I wonder why. Oh yeah, I chose a good time of day to do this. So many trains coming through. And yeah, it's already so foggy I can barely see a thing. It'd be cool if there's a way you could like change the weather in game outside of photo mode. Let's see, let's turn down the fog. How well can you see a skyline? Can't really see a skyline from here. I swear you could see it better on Harlem Line, but maybe that's just me. Huh. Can barely see a thing. And I do feel like after this run, I'm gonna have to do a run on to Penn Station so we could go over Hell's Gate Bridge. Is it just me, or is there like way more traffic in the streets on this route? Feels a lot more realistic. Feels like I'm actually in the city.
This station is Harlem 125th Street. As you leave the train, please watch the gap between the train and the platform.
Nice announcements. I'm not sure how accurate they are because I've never ridden on an M8. I'm yet to ride on M8. But overall, they sound nice. Was that a route map? Oh, I'm running 2 minutes late. I don't know how that happened. I mean, it did get stopped once, but it wasn't for that long. The station itself looks pretty similar to how it was on Harlem Line, although they did update the passenger information boards. That's nice. Ooh, I like how they have like the buzzer go off when the doors close. That's a nice detail. Probably ties in with conductor mode. I don't use it too much, so I'm not entirely sure. And, well, I haven't used it on this route at all. This is my first impression, but I just haven't done much conductor mode in general, so I'm not entirely sure how it would work here in this specific case. Should probably keep it around this speed. Alright, there's the freight line underneath. Wonder if any services go down here, but it's nice they actually included that. I was really hoping they would. I like that feature from the Train Simulator Classic route. Safe to say, for the most part, it's been living up to my expectations. There are a couple things here and there that have disappointed me, but like I said before, I guess beggars can't be choosers. I should just be glad we got in the first place. And maybe those timetable issues, hopefully the modders will come and save the day on that one and add in some of the missing services and substitutions. I guess this isn't a true all-stop service. Try not to get too distracted. It's just a lone hopper sitting there. I did also read in the article they added, they made it so the trains do use their horns, like AI-driven trains, which is, I'm really glad they're starting to incorporate that feature into other routes. Such a nice immersion feature. They could just add the radio chatter next. Come on, that's all I want. Not actually, but really, radio chatter. I've said it a million times. It doesn't even have to be function. Oh, I forgot about the alerter not working on the rail driver. But radio chatter. I've said it a million times. It doesn't even have to be functional. Just a couple lines here and there. Just make all the difference. Maybe there's a mod for it. You never know. There really seems to be a mod for everything nowadays. Can't live without them. Wonder what the top speed on this thing is. Hopefully we'll be finding out. I mean, to be fair, this is probably the slowest portion of the Northeast Corridor, but it's also a really busy portion, so that kind of makes up for it. I wonder why we're not on the Central tracks. I mean, we aren't a true express service. I think we are a local. We're just... a lot of these stations aren't served by, what am I drawing blank? New Haven line trains are probably only for the Harlem line.
This station is Fordham. As you leave the train, please watch the gap between the train and the platform.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a crossover to a station from the Central tracks. I wonder, let me go back into photo mode and set to clear. Oh yeah, you can kind of see a skyline from here. I really wish, like, they really need to do a better job of having it so you can see distant scenery and skylines. Like on Boston to Providence, for example. In real life, you can see the Boston skyline from Reedville, but not in-game. Alright, that was our last stop before diverging to the Northeast Corridor. Also, we can now officially say that Northeast Corridor New York is back. Kind of split into two segments, but both of those segments are so much better and extended. So, the route has finally made its return, just in the form of two other routes sliced in half, but those two routes sliced in half are also longer and way better, so hooray! With the route hopping feature, it's easy to get between the two. Yeah, this train is noticeably way faster on overhead power. I feel like that tends to be a case of most dual mode trains. They're always way faster on pantograph power than third rail. And oh my god, look at that. We have 4 trains at once. We're going 4 wide. They said that like it's a NASCAR race or something. We're going 4 wide. Oh, this might be a thumbnail shot right here. This is a, like, 1 in a million shot. If I could just... Alright. Advance it just a little bit. Get this M3 a little further. Wait. Oh, wait. It's going the other way. Still makes for an amazing shot. Oh, yeah. We could just get it from the front since M3 is, like, way longer. Dude, this is like, holy, wow, this is this is like a freaking perfect shot. People are probably gonna think I staged this, but nope. If you watch the video, this is wow. Unbelievable how amazing I got with the timing on this. Let's see, can I just, let's see. Wow. Unbelievable. Get a couple different ones. I'll probably do one, let's see, with slightly better weather conditions. I might use this as a thumbnail shot instead with the better weather conditions, but wow. Work a little bit of photo mode magic. That is just, I still can't believe that happened. That was just, people are gonna think that's staged, but nope, watch the video, it's not. The only thing is I just made the weather sunny so it pops out a little bit more. Technically not clickbait because you saw my process of changing the weather. Is it unethical? Maybe a little bit, but still, I mean, it's a thing that happened, so can't really call it too clickbaity. But I don't know. At first, I was thinking of, like, using a photo of Hell's Gate Bridge instead, but no, I think that's gonna be the thumbnail shot. That was just beautiful. It's enough to make a grown man cry. But you know what else is enough to make a grown man cry? Getting stopped by the safety systems! I think I survived. Did I? No, damn me, throw into emergency. God damn it. Wait, can I recharge the brakes while moving? Let's get to 90. Throw into full power. Probably bad on the train, but who cares? And it still came to a stop. Oh well. First time on the route. Well, actually, that's kind of a lie because A, this is a Harlem Line section. I played it before, and B, I have played the Train Sim Classic version plenty of times, but it's been a while since I played either of those, so it feels like the first time. Keep it at 40 here. My power keeps cutting out. Maybe it's not cutting out, it's just not making too much power. Sounded like it was cutting out even though I was still on the third rail. I mean, there are a couple gaps here and there, but because the train is so long and there's a third rail shoe on every car, it should be pretty seamless. What did that sign say? Metro North Main Line, track channel 3. Too bad it's no radio to change. That was a really cool feature from the Czech Republic route, was even though the radio wasn't fully functional, it was cool. You could still like change channels and whatnot. Very nice attention to detail. I know I said in that last video that sometimes my opinions tend to change after recording because I play it for a little longer. I find some issues or things I haven't noticed, but it's safe to say I think my opinion still stands on that route, that it's easily one of, if not the best routes made for the game. And overall, my opinions on this route have been positive. Maybe a little too positive because it's a route I've been looking forward to, and even though it's not necessary, it's kind of a local route to me. Like, it's 3 or 4 hours away, but still, it's a route I've been on a couple times. I'm fairly familiar with, and it's, within a couple hours from me, so I think it's can safely consider it's a local-ish route. Kinda local, kinda not. Not as local as Boston Sprinter or Boston to Worcester, but still somewhat local. I guess it all depends on what your definition of local is, and a lot of it is context too. Like, we're talking Train Sim World here. There are routes all around the world, so if we're talking from that standpoint, I think to say it's fairly local would count. I haven't seen that truck in the game before. I wonder if that's new. Only in America would you find a lifted pickup in the city. A lot more action going along here, too. It's just been non-stop action. I'm loving it. Even if it's not as busy, this does kind of feel like an American Brighton main line. It's still very busy, and also a lot of third rail action, multiple units, stuff like that. Alright, so it's going to tell us when it's time for the power change.
This is the train to Stamford. The next station is New Rochelle.
Huh, I guess we're not stopping at... What's the station? Pelham? What services do stop here? A couple. I thought mine would, since it's a local. Maybe in this case, local doesn't mean all stop services. I guess it depends on the railroad and whatnot. I feel like usually a local means an all-stop service, but it depends. Or maybe I'm just totally wrong and I made that up. I feel like it's safe to change over now. The wires are up, but I should probably just do it when the game says they may not be activated in this area. I'll leave it on coast. Alright, time to switch over. AC pan up, pantograph up. There we go. Power change successful. Yeah, surprisingly easy. I don't know. Oh, there's a yellow. I have to slow down. ATC can be a real pain sometimes. I was giving it plenty of braking force, but it still brought me to a stop. Yeah, hang on to the northeast corridors. Probably gonna be some delays. I guess we have to slow it down to 30 here anyways. Really slowing us down because there's a red. I don't know why it signals red. I don't think anything's in front of us, is there? Maybe it's gonna be a passing train or something? Not entirely sure. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Hello, New Rochelle. It's been a while. I missed ya. But there's a gap in the wires. That's unfortunate. Alright, we'll try and look away from the missing wire.
This is the train to Stamford. The next station is Rye.
Oop. I'm trying to slow down. There we go. Yeah, do not mess with ATC. Highway looks really busy too. Once again, actually feels like we're in a busy city. Oh, there's a Acela. Got a big toll booth there. So yeah, I guess this definitely is not an all-stop service. I made a mistake. But it's okay. How many more station stops are we making? Still got a good few. I think 80's probably gonna be the fastest we're gonna go. I'm surprised one of the scenarios isn't like a diversion of M8s to Penn Station. That would have been a really cool concept. I guess I'll have to make it myself in the scenario planner. Haven't used that in a while. Oh, I had to slow down to 45. That's why it's stopping me. Alright, I made a couple mistakes today, but like I said, still getting used to the line and whatnot. Almost forgot I'm only going 40. Now I'm only going 30. I think 64% is how much you gotta leave the brakes at. Or maybe not. Why do I keep messing this up? Come on. Be good to me. Yeah, ATC can be a pain. I don't blame anyone who doesn't want to use it. Probably the second worst safety system in the game, only behind PZB, of course. Though I don't understand why we're running so slowly. At least the brakes release very quickly, so it's not too much of a pain.
Will arrive on track 3. Repeat, the 8:19 a.m. train to Grand Central Terminal will arrive
Huh.
on track 3.
I guess there's a track 3 at this platform station. Shouldn't it be track 1 and 2? I guess not. Maybe the central tracks used to have platforms or something, and they never bothered to renumber them? I have no idea. So why are we going so slow here? What's the hold up? Is this signaling system just get all messed up again in this game? Because it likes to do that for some reason. Must just be... I think, yeah, there's some crossovers here. They must cause some delays. Yeah, what's up with the red signal here? Huh, now it's clear. Didn't clear until we passed through. That was strange. Still running a tiny bit late. Alright, so we are crossing over to the air tracks. That probably creates a bit of a bottleneck. But it looks like it's all green from here.
This station is dry as you leave the train.
Huh, I guess this station also has weird numbering. Platform 3 and 4, not 1 and 2, because 1 and 2 are non-existent on this station for some reason. I guess all of them that are arranged like this with the empty tracks in the middle. I have no idea. Alright, I gotta try and make up some time.
Stamford. The next station is Fort Chester.
The yard at Stamford looks a little bit empty, unfortunately. A lot of Metro North services. Haven't seen too many Amtrak yet.
This station is Fort Chester. As you leave the
Yeah, this train can accelerate very quickly. And another yellow, go figure. But it's back to being green again. Wait a minute, where'd the fast travel prompt? Don't tell me you can't walk between platforms on this station. No, come on. Ugh. I hate that feature so much. I will complain about it every chance I get. I want to walk between platforms. I don't want a stupid fast travel feature. It's not even that hard. You just walk down along the street. It makes no sense. But I don't want to complain too much. No one wants to sit here and hear me complain.
Greenwich.
At least not in this video. Maybe in other videos, but not in this one. Why am I over speeding? Oh, I guess the signal speed is still 45. Jerks. Signaler's a jerk.
This station is Greenwich. As you leave the train, please watch the gap between the train and the platform.
I think I saw a collectible back there.
This station is Greenwich. This is the train.
Will I have time to collect said collectible? Let's wait and see. It's a pizza. Making me a little hungry. I think they have different pizza boxes too. That's really cool. And alright, I'm gonna control 0 back to the cab.
Will arrive on track 3. Repeat, the 8:30 a.m. train to Grand Central Terminal will arrive on track.
This is the train to Stamford. The next station is Coscob.
Ooh, Coscob. That's where that bridge is without the wires. Because they were just too lazy to put the wires into the drawbridge for some reason. Well, it was New Haven's idea, so I guess go figure. The New Haven was a funky bunch when it came to managing a railroad. They put all their effort into designing awesome liveries and none of it into actually managing said railroad. If I do an Amtrak service, I feel like I'd have to do a Northeast Regional because the gap in the wires is going to be the most noticeable on the ACS-64. Not so much on anything else because the pantograph, there are multiple pantographs on the M8 and the Acela, it'll still make contact.
This station is Coscob. As you leave the train, please watch the gap between the train.
Ooh, I see another collectible. It's a taxi. Ooh, look at that. A lot more detailed than I expected.
This is the train to Stamford. The next station is Riverside.
Overshot the platform a tiny bit. That is very cool. So you have to like close the doors on it. Very detailed. Okay. So let's go into photo mode real quick. Yeah. Really appreciate the detail. Alright. But we still got a train to run. And we're still running late. Only 3 more stops to go.
This is the train to Stamford. The next station is Riverside.
Yeah, even though it's been an hour, it still just feels a little bit too short. But
This station is Riverside.
here it is. Very cool scene with the harbor and whatnot. Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I don't know if it's supposed to be a drawbridge. It doesn't look like it is, or at least it used to be. I'm gonna overshoot the platform. But they didn't attach the wires to the bridge itself. They just put a gap in the wires. I know back in the day when it was first built, the locomotives running over it, usually the pantographs were too tall and they had to remember to lower it down, or else they would shred the wires up top, which has happened before. But now they make the wires too high for the pantographs to reach all the way up, so it goes along seamlessly. And all the multiple units, since they're still making contact on both sides, it's not a big of a deal. But with Amtrak, the ACS-64, you better not get stuck. Look at how high it's going on this one. It's almost extended all the way up.
This station is Old Greenwich. As you leave the train, please watch the gap between the train and the platform. This station is
Yeah, that's weird the way they do the numbering. Just track 3 and 4. No track 1 and 2. Even these, like, ticket machines are very detailed. What? I found a collectible, but I don't have enough time to actually collect it.
This is the train to Stamford. The next station is Stamford.
Well, the journey's coming to an end. That did not feel like an hour. That felt way quicker. Maybe like half hour or something. I guess time flies when you're having fun. But just a little too short. It really felt like... I still stand by the fact that it should go all the way to New Haven. Especially with the higher price tag. Just too short to cut it to Stamford. It's not a bad stopping point. You still get... I mean, at least you get half the route, and... I guess I gotta go back to my original point that beggars can't be choosers. But hey, at least we still have the segment to Penn Station, so... There's still a whole chunk of the route to explore. And after all, I do tend to like non-linear routes a lot. It's just the only problem is a lot of non-linear routes. Sometimes the services are really short. But doesn't seem to be too much of a case with this. Although it is a little on the short side, it's not too short. Ooh, the escalator's working. If I ever started a third-party development team for this game, I guess I'd have to make an extended version to New Haven and add all the branch lines as well.
Next to arrive on track 2 is the...
Alright, that's... Yeah, that's it. Just... Yeah, that did not feel like an hour, so... Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. Let's see if we have time for a quick Amtrak service. I am going to choose the Northeast Regional to get the full cost cob effect. Alright, let's see what we got. Wow, these are all like hour-long services. How much faster is the Acela? Not much. Alright, I won't do the full service. I mean... Let's see, it's an hour long. I don't have too much time, unfortunately. I might be able to squeeze it in. What's the quickest one? If I can at least drive to New Rochelle, I think that'll be enough for me. Let's see. We'll do this one. It's a little bit under an hour. At least make it to New Rochelle. That's my goal. See how long it takes to get there and maybe go rest away at Stamford if I make good enough time. All right. Forward. Passenger. Headlights on. I wish more trains had the engine room modeled. Now I got a confession to make. You probably already noticed it. I didn't choose the ACS-64 that came with this route. I chose the Boston Sprinter one. So I could choose a bit of a silly looking livery I made a while back. Look at that, we got both Battle for Dream Island and Murder Drones. Bit of an older livery. I didn't give 4 an X the outline. I forgot to give V her tail, but overall I kind of like the way it came out. I think the color combination. And only I'm crazy enough to make a livery like that. Anyways, let's see what else there is. We got some M3s. A lot of M3s. Some M7s. Don't see any M9s. It'd be weird if they just didn't include the M9. Oh, and we gotta go. Well, we got the New Jersey Transit side of things. I don't have time to check. All right, we do at least have ALP 45s. All right, let's do this. Well, we gotta wait for this ALP 46 to come in. Any day now. Let's see. That'd be weird if there's no M9s, just the M3s and M7s. It didn't, I think in the article, I don't think it mentioned the M9s at all. So that'd be weird if they were left out. Alright. I feel like my livery could use some updates. I think I did hit the layer limit somehow. I might have over-detailed some of the outlines onto a little bit too much. But overall, I think, you know, the purple and black, the blue and green, I think it's a really nice color combination. You can really see like the reflectiveness on it, and I really like the idea of having the Absolute Solver logo for the headlights. But I think it could use some updates. It's a bit of an older one. I think I made it like, I forget when I made it. So, unfortunately, it doesn't have like the suspension or the announcements. It just feels like it's floating on the tracks. But hey, I guess you gotta make sacrifices sometimes. I'm definitely not remaking that from scratch, but I'll definitely update it. Although I gotta know if they updated the fleets at all. Those things are in dire need of some updates, but it doesn't look like they did. Oh, we are making a stop at New Rochelle anyway, so we'll get out there and take a look. You can really see those, like, the headlights look so, like, they're very blue on this train. You can really see that. They're blue looking. Blue looking, I guess. I don't know. Kind of interesting how if you switched, I guess this is night is this day mode, or it's like green or blue. That's interesting, but I kind of like the look of the teal. Looks way better than a white background. I can actually use my alerter button on the rail driver for this train. I feel like the older trains in this game actually had like better rail driver compatibility, some of them. And by older, I just mean like one's older, like, not older by like, not older by like when they were built, but when they were added. Why am I only allowed to go 20? That's weird. Alright, there we go. Full speed ahead. Oh wow, Sunnyside Yard is just empty. What's up with that? It's just like on like Long Island Commuter, it's busy. Just full to the brim with trains. What? And I have to slow down back. Okay, the signalers are just, I mean, this is automatic signaling, I think, so there's no, like, actual signaler, but still, the signals are rage baiting me today. Just keeps going back and forth. What's up with that? Okay, back to 20. Yeah, they're rage baiting me. What's up with that? Okay, and back to... Back to 20. And back to 60. I don't get why this speedometer is so small on here. Well, I mean, you got the big one too, the analog, the fake analog, but the digital one is so tiny. Now I don't think there's a way to change the layout. Is there? You can kind of change it, but not make it bigger. You can cycle through some of it. You can definitely, its German influence is very noticeable. You can definitely feel the Eurosprinter and Vectron DNA, since it's kind of a combination of both, but under American regulations. Yeah, what is up with the signal? It just keeps sending me back and forth. The passengers are in for a roller coaster of a ride. Probably not giving them the best ride quality, aren't I? Look at that. I feel like they add more buildings to Skyline too. Like, I think that kind of looks like the Empire State Building. Can't see the Chrysler Building, though. I don't know where that is. Oh my god. Just keeps stopping me. What's up with that? Get a grip, the signaler. Or if it... I don't care if it's a human signaler or the automatic signaling. Get a freaking grip. Alright, so that was like the most unpredictable exit of Penn Station that I've ever had. Yeah, Sunnyside Yard is just dead. What is up with that? Usually it's filled to the brim. I know I already said that. I kind of just repeated what I said earlier. Word for word. It's getting foggy again, too. Really foggy, really quick. It's sending me back down to 20. What is going on? I think this is the one American locomotive where the suppression is like in the center and not after full service. Wicked foggy now. Is this like a glitch or with the whole 20-mile-an-hour thing, or is something actually going on? Still keeping me at 20 too, even though it's green for miles. I got the highball, but it's refusing to do anything about it. Oh, there's a Long Island Railroad. I don't know why there's no M9s. That's weird. The weird thing about the Long Island commuter is, yeah, I don't know, there's like barely any M9s. Although I feel like in the Long Island commuter route, it's mostly M9s, or I feel like in real life, realistically, it should be mostly M7s, or maybe they got correct. I don't really know. I kind of forget. I felt like the last time I played on it, there was a lot of M9s when it should have been mostly M7s. I did finally upload my latest New York video, trip to New York. I had a section at Jamaica, and it was like 99% of it was M7s. Not much variety, although the good thing is it's just constant non-stop action, so you got a lot to see, but it's gonna be mostly M7s. I saw one M3, I think one D33. I think that's what they're called. Oh my god, back to 20 miles an hour. This can't be right. It just keeps... It's giving me a penalty, too. Why do you keep sending me at 20 miles an hour when it is clear for miles? Why does it say the doors are open? No, they're not. The doors are definitely not open. I'm just gonna come to a stop, open, close both side doors, see if... Does it think the doors are open? That's why it keeps slowing me down. Please do not disembark, passengers. This is just a door test in the middle of the line. This is very dangerous. It would probably get me fired if this was real life, but I do not care because I am actually going insane over this. Okay, both sides are closed. Are we in agreement on that? Yes, we are in agreement on that. It still says the doors are open, even though they are clearly not. Why is the traction blocked now, too? Are the brakes released? Brakes are fully released. Reverser is in forward. It's not letting me apply any power. This has become... This is just turning into a disaster. Why is the traction still blocked? Is this because they chose the Boston Sprinter variant? God forbid I want to use my own liveries from other routes I made a while back before they incorporated newer variants of this, and they are just hesitant on not just updating the older variants. Shouldn't even be that hard to do either, in theory. Right. Alright. Brakes are fully released. Do I have to bail off the independent? I don't know why my traction is still blocked. Could I add suppression? Let the brakes charge? Well, now we're definitely not gonna have enough time to go all the way to Stamford. What if I just turned off safety systems? Just for a minute. Nah, still nothing. Anything on this back panel I'm missing? I don't think so. Set reverse or neutral. Why is the parking brake applied? Okay. Do I manually open and close the door? Yeah, they did not update the amphitheatres whatsoever. Yeah, it still looks bad. Yeah, these amphitheatres are in desperate need of an update. Alright, traction is still blocked. I reset the physics. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I just dump all the air and reset it. Just... Okay, let's see. I don't know why it says the parking brake is applied. I did not apply anything. The doors are definitely not open. The traction is still blocked. Let me reset the physics one more time. My traction is still blocked. What if I... That did absolutely nothing. Okay, change of plans. I'm gonna go into good old free roam, spawn myself a brand new train. So, ACS-64. That only spawned the locomotive. Oops. I guess, oh, that's a double header. I guess we're going triple header. Wow. I think there was once a triple header ACS-64 move, so it's not too unrealistic. It could happen. No more traction block. Let's go. All right. . tiny bit of power. All right. There we go. We only have 7 cars, too. Well, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Let's set our path for, I think because I'm in free roam, it's just gonna mess with me, so no safety systems. I'm doing this my own way. We're getting to Hellgate Bridge even if I go to hell myself. There we go. There we go. Finally got this under control. All it took is a triple header. Look at all the pantographs bouncing up and down. That's fun to watch. I should remake this livery. I like how it came out. The different colors, a little rip effect, different characters. Update it. Maybe give 4 and X their outlines a little less jagged. Give V her tail, which I totally forgot to do, and all that stuff. It is on the Creators Club, by the way. I'll post a link to it in the description. If anyone else is crazy enough to try it, download it, combine 2 totally unrelated indie shows that I am both strangely obsessed with and always seem to find a way to incorporate into my videos about vehicles and whatnot. And the fog just disappeared. Look at that. Alright, let's see. Once again, let's probably not gonna be a thumbnail shot, but just for fun shot. Look at that. Got a triple header. Usually I like to go in for a zoom in shot, but I think it actually looks better zoomed out. So you get both the skyline and sort of like the bridge. But we get a zoomed in shot so we get a better view of the train and skyline. Actually, maybe I should do it once I'm over the bridge. Wow, I am being picky today. Oop, and they have slowed down to 50. Ooh, look at the lights on the bridge. The other bridge. Let's see. Alright, now let's make it the rest of the way to New Rochelle. I started this service, and damn it, I'm gonna finish it. Well, even... Actually, this isn't the whole service. We're not going all the way to Stamford. But I made a promise I would make it to New Rochelle, and I am going to make it to New Rochelle. Even if I had to respawn my train and also cut out the safety systems. Because it's just, the game just doesn't want to work today. I hope I set it to the Amtrak platform. I think that's an Amtrak platform. Oh, yeah, well, one of them's going to, wait, those are going to, it's going to Richmond. That's a little south. So, let's see. Move path, set path. I think it's the outermost track, actually. Because... yeah, one of those trains is supposed to be going to Boston, so we'll just redo that. I guess today is just being a foggy day. Yeah, I am doing a lot of speeding. I'm just hoping it's Romeo on the right tracks. Not saying any waypoints or anything. Or go via waypoints, rather. Alright, yeah, this section is really slow for some reason. And that's where the freight goes. Just makes me so happy we finally have the freight back. Even if it's only the SD40. I mean, I don't know why it's just the SD40. Even then, I feel like the GP38 feels like a better choice. I guess the SD40 works here. Maybe nowadays it's mostly SD40 operated, but even then, I feel like the GP38 should at least be a substitution, a service I can substitute in. It would be cool if eventually we got some gen sets for both Amtrak and CSX. I feel like they updated the containers too. I don't remember downloading that livery, but I definitely downloaded it. Like I did the burnouts with that. Don't know who created that livery, I just downloaded it. And those ones too. Well, Northeast Corridor, New York. Even if the original route, it had its flaws. It was missing a lot of services, but I still played that route so much. It feels like I'm back home, almost. And it's as beautiful as the day I left it. Well, even more beautiful, because looking back in retrospect, the route sucked. I mean, it lacked a lot of services, and it was just weird having, you know, New York be a center point of the route and not one of the end points. It was a weird choice of a route, but it held a very special place in my heart because I played it all the time nonetheless. So, just feels so great to have it back. Better than ever. From Stamford to Trenton, with route hopping at New York. How much longer is it? It's a bit of a slow section. I guess I'm not too focused on speed limits since it's just going free roam. Free roam really is an awesome feature, just the way you can really incorporate it into the timetable and whatnot. Like, scenario planner is good if you want to have a set route with certain trains, like AI service trains running that you want to share to the world. But if you just want to take any train and just sort of drive it, free roam is good for that. Well, not any train. There is some, like, it doesn't have off the rails or anything. But I remember when the scenario planner first came out for TSW2 and just doing a bunch of crazy stuff. You could really just be able to do anything. Drive any train you want, anywhere you want. Alright, got 100 coming up. This is probably I think this was the fastest portion of the original New York, Northeast Corridor, New York route. I thought it got up to 125 at this section, but maybe not, maybe just 100. And just slow back down again. Although since I'm not using my safety systems for this particular run, I'm not gonna. Almost there. Is there a train on my track? Whoop, there's a train on my track and had no idea of that. Oops. How did I not derail? Big bump, but didn't derail somehow. Alright, come on. I'm right there. I'm right there. Gotta let the brakes recharge. Oh, the independent supplied, that's why. It's like revisiting an old friend. Oop, and I guess I don't really fit onto a platform anyways. Well, I think that's gonna do it for today's video. As usual, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.